Hi guys. Today I kind of want to do something a little bit different, and that is to talk a little bit on confidence. I just started going into business for myself, and one of the compliments people give me is that I'm so confident. And I admit I haven't always been confident. It's something that I definitely had to work at, but I'm going to try to give you 3 tips today on how to be more confident. And I really hope this blesses you and inspires you, and I really hope you try it, okay? So, my first tip, and I know this is like, I don't think I ever heard this from anyone else, but this is pretty much the essence of how I became so confident. And that is to push yourself. Push yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Push yourself in every single facet of your life. I know, I could do, and I could stay up 3 nights straight, and work 3 days, 3 nights straight without like taking any naps. I know that, and that's because I did it, and that's why I know my physical limit of endurance. Physically, I know what I can do. I know what I've overcame spiritually. I know my weaknesses, and that's really important. So, and mentally, I definitely I know my strengths and weaknesses when it comes to mental struggles. I've dealt with PTSD for most of my life, and the Lord healed me from that. So I definitely know where my limits are, and that's really, really so important, because you need to know yourself. That's how you're going to get confidence. That's how you're going to know if you can do something and if you can't do something. And that's going to help you make so many decisions in life. So in your 20s and 30s, I really, really challenge you to start doing things that are hard. Because that's the only way you're going to know. Until you collapse and you're like, dude, this is it. I can't do anymore. That's how you're going to know your limit. And I just think that you got to push yourself. I mean, you only have one life, and you need to live, and that's how I think you're gonna get there, is to really, really, really push yourself. Don't hurt yourself. That's not what I'm saying, but know your limit, because we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses, and so and I play towards my strengths. So right now, I'm in the real estate field, and I was in the architectural field for 10 years. I'm playing by my strengths. There are things that I could do that other real estate agents can't do. And so I know that, and I'm playing by it. But I also know my weaknesses. And guess what? I hire people to do that. I don't do it. It's okay, because we're all different. And you have to embrace what you're good at and what you're bad at. And I know I would tell people all the time, I'm really bad at this. And they won't believe me. And it's really kind of offensive, honestly, because I'm just human. I'm not perfect. I know what I suck at. And I'm honest about it. But I also know what I'm good at. And that's what I do. So, push yourself. Push yourself, because I think later on you will never know what you can do here on earth until you do it. So that's my first tip. My second tip is that you have to be aware of the decision power that you do have. Life is so hard. And I feel like you lose that confidence because you don't feel control, right? I know that that's how it is for me. Growing up, I never felt like I didn't really have I would say, like, I had a good childhood, don't get me wrong, but like I bounced around from my house, my mom's house, my sister's house, my grandma's house, my aunt's house, my friend's house, my everyone's houses. Like I was at like, you know, everyone's houses, my, you know, so I didn't have that sense of security, and I never felt like I was in power. And now having children and a business, it's really difficult. It's really, you don't feel like you have any control, right? Like, I don't know if anyone has like a baby and a toddler, but I mean, they need you and my clients need you, and sometimes things just feel so overwhelming, but you have to realize that there is control. Your reactions to the situation is your decision, and that's what's going to put you in power. You know, there, you know, you have, honestly, I mean, think about it. Think about how much control you really have in your life. And I know this because when I got fired from my job, I got fired because I had a baby. That was what it boiled down to. And you think about it, like, I've worked for this company for so long, and I've been loyal to them, and I've supported them, and I've, you know, spent so much energy and time doing extra stuff that I didn't have to do. And it's like I didn't have control because they just fired me, you know? And so it's not about what happens, it's about how you react to it. And I just want you to really think about that, because when I left smiling, and I left saying, hey, thank you so much for this opportunity, I really appreciate it. And they were just like, kind of like, I think it just kind of freaked them out, because I wasn't upset, I wasn't yelling, I was just handling it differently than what they would typically see. And that's your God-given right, your reaction. And that's what, I think that's what makes us human, is that God gave us the power to react, you know. And you look at animals, they don't really have that that decision-making power of how they're going to really react. That's just instinct. But we can really think things through. So you have power, you know, and whatever little decision you make, that's your power. And you have to hold on to it and make it. A very small decision of making your bed in the morning, you know what that shows? Because it took me a really long time to understand this whole housewife thing. I'm not a housewife, but you know, I still have to do everything. But like, making your bed up is such a discipline. And you know what it's showing you? It's showing you that you are taking care of yourself. That doesn't matter what the day, you know, you're going to go through a hard day, but when you come home, you have a space of refuge that you could just collapse in and recover in and take care of you. And when you take care of your bed in the morning, it's like it's a self-love. It's a decision that you're making of self-love. Like, I'm going to go hard today. I'm going to give it all today, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to have a place where I can recover and feel and just have that security, you know? So it's all these little decisions that you make throughout the day, you know, that you don't think matter. But in the scheme of things, it really does matter. It matters so much. Your little decision is like a little drop in the water, and it just ripples out, and you don't know how it affects other people. There were so many little things that people told me that honestly changed my way of thinking. I'll give you a really quick example. My sister, she's like 10 years older than me. She is the coolest sister in the world, obviously. But when I was younger, we were just walking in New York City, and it was raining, and we had 2 umbrellas, and she took the crappy umbrella that was like half broken, and she just held it up and just walked in the rain, and just had so much confidence about about just like it, she wasn't thinking about it. But I know, like, I was like a preteen at that time, and every single little thing mattered. Like every single thing, like, you know, exteriorly mattered. Like everything had to look a certain way and be a certain way. And just by her doing that little action, I was like, wow, yeah, you know, that doesn't really matter. You know, she's dry. What does it matter if it's broken, you know? And so, I mean, I could tell her that, and she probably wouldn't even remember, you know? And that could be something that, you know, you would see all the time, but you don't know how it's going to influence someone who is looking up to you, essentially. So, my third tip, and this is a really, really hard one. Okay, this is another thing that I have not heard from anyone else. I feel like confidence is a choice. I know. I feel like it's a choice. I feel like you have to choose to be confident. You have to choose that I'm going to take this route, and I'm going to go into this interview, and I'm going to blow their minds. But when you make that choice, you have to say also, what do I need to blow this interview away? Or what do I need to blow this meeting away? And then you do it. But that is also a choice. I know. But that's a lot of things I have done. People have just been like, how did you do that? And I'm like, well, I made the decision. And you have the power to make a decision, and you have the power to actually do it. So, yes, it is a choice. And those are my 3 tips. And I really hope that it helps you in some level, okay? And let me know if you kind of like these little talks. I know it's not necessarily hair related, but it can be applied, right? Right? So, thank you so much, you guys. And I hope you have a really, really blessed, wonderful day. Bye.